MIT, they find I'm just daydreaming or something. I am, but when I said gigabit 10, 20 years ago, they said the same thing. We even tried to get a gigabit network in Andhra Pradesh at that time when Chandrababu Naidu was in power. So there are lots of problems. Let's take Akash, for example. Right now, it's underpowered. It's a kind of resistive touch. And when you type something, it takes a long time to get a response. And that is because right now, only a few people are using it. Let's imagine a situation where 1 million people are simultaneously accessing things. Do we have the right bandwidth? Do we have the right connectivity? And what happens if there's no connectivity? One of the assumptions here is that for Akash, there's always connectivity. In this country with no power and low power, you cannot assume that. So there are, I think what that means, I'm not saying we shouldn't do it. I'm saying every time we make an experiment like it, we should learn from it. And failures are stepping stones for success. We need to iterate very fast and try out different experiments. India is the only country where we have 3 crore people, the children that are born every year. At least 1 crore, 10 million of them should go to universities. They don't. Less than 1/3 of that go to universities. To bring all of them to the university level education, you need to do heroic efforts in technology for learning and education. It can be done. Technology is the right solution. But there are lots of other problems we have to solve. What has been done by MHRD is exactly right. The bandwidth, the content, and the creating devices. But it doesn't matter whether it is $35 or $350. We give everybody an RJKT a full-fledged laptop, 30,000 rupees, and it costs, on the average, for over a 5-year period, the cost is like 6,000 rupees. And the cost of education for each of these kids, with room and board and everything else, because rural kids, is 1.5 lakhs. So 6,000 rupees as a fraction of 1.5 lakhs is less than 4%. But it will dramatically change their learning abilities if we can implement them. So anyway, so I'm so happy to be here. As you can see, I'm very passionate about this subject, and I'm glad you're all thinking about it and talking about it. And best wishes for the next 2 days. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. RajReddy, for that down memory lane and how you've managed to keep leading on technologies. And I remember even when a few years ago when RJKT was starting, you were thinking about how can people remember the Vemana Satakams and the things, so how they can think of the culture and why they should change as opposed to just giving them technology and making them change, and a lot of long seating.